I think if you look at our competitive landscape, right, let's start with Singapore. Singapore is a very competitive market, right? You got StarHub, M1, TPG, and then a lot of other players, circles and all that, right? And I would say it's very competitive. How do we respond in a competitive market? I think fundamentally, we need to focus on what we deliver for our customers. The value that we deliver. We must make sure that we are always connected. The speeds are as fast as we can try to be, right? When you all go traveling and use Singtel roaming, you just go to our app, you just press a button, you flick it, roaming immediately starts. And when you roam in Japan or in Thailand, in Bangkok or wherever, you don't have slow speeds. Many of our competitors, wow, almost free roaming or whatever, right? And then you get slow speed, then you get very irritated because you cannot watch your Instagram, you cannot go Google Map and all that, right? Because they slow it down, which is true. I think some of you may have experience. I think at Singtel, we don't do that. We differentiate ourselves by providing what is right for our customer. And that is something I think we will continue to be that and provide that, right? We will also be responsible, try our very best to help our customers to prevent all these scams. So you will hear the government announce a lot of anti-scam anti-scam efforts and all that for our Singaporeans. We want to help that. In fact, we've been working with the government to try and lead some of the thought and ideas there. Now, if you look overseas, right, India, Indonesia, Thailand, you will see, and I would say to some extent Australia as well, you will see that the number of players has actually gone smaller. And as a result of that, prices are actually moving up. So you will see that the stock price and the profits are actually moving up. This is what I call market repair, because nobody is killing everyone and there is stability in the market. Now, the price didn't move like immediately go up, but it is definitely more stable, right? So that's a positive for Singtel because we own, stakes in all these companies. Yeah. This is the elephant in the room, right? I like many of you here on this call, I also get very sad because I mentioned earlier I'm a shareholder as well, and I want the share price to do well. In the last 2.5 years, I can tell you, I can assure you, and I can confidently say, and I'm not saying this, I'm saying it out of humility, I think the management team has done everything, in the right things, right, to really create value for the shareholders. Unfortunately, the price is not reflecting. The dividends are reflecting. So the dividends have been growing. So what we need to do now is what causes the price to be like flat, right? Up and down, up and down. So I think one is, unfortunately, we are in the telco industry. The telco business today is, I would say flat, if I can use the word. Okay, that's the mobile business. So we want to focus on the fixed broadband business around the region. I talked about Indonesia, Thailand, India. There's fascinating growth there in the Wi-Fi fixed broadband business. Again, Indonesia, only 17% of households have Wi-Fi. In Singapore, it's 98%. Okay, so there's a lot more growth. So that's one area. The second area is in data centers and IT services. And I think the third area is continue to grow dividends. Because I think if investors are convinced that we can grow dividends in a sustainable way, it will be reflected in our stock price. And finally, I think there were some questions about whether we would consider a buyback. Management is of the view that our stock price is undervalued. So will we consider a buyback? I think I cannot give guidance or anything like that. But all I can say is that we do believe it's undervalued. And at the right time, at the right price, and if we have the resources, we will consider a buyback. But at this point in time, look, we have to consider all the various options. But I think rest assured that we are very focused on really making sure the shareholders get value, not just from dividends, but also from stock price appreciation. I don't want to use that 17.5 as the benchmark, but I want to see year on year how we grow. Okay, so last year we paid out, I think, core dividend about 10 cents, and then we add on the 5 cent special is about 15 cents, 14.9, right? I think this year, again, you've seen that we have grown our interim dividend by about 13%. We will continue to grow that, right? And then, yes, if we continue to grow this, it's a matter of time we will reach 17.5, and we may even exceed 17.5. Again, I want to stress with you, look at the different businesses that we are in and the amount of value that we can bring. And this value is real cash value. It's not just paper value, right? So we are very committed to growing dividends in a sustainable way.